And we are live. It is exactly 4 p.m. on Wednesday, the 5th of March, 2025. Welcome, everybody, to today's live stream. For those people who don't know me, my name is Ross. I run Act On This.TV together with producer Petch. You might join us for a little bit of time later on this call. Today, I am joined once again by world record-breaking high-performance mindset coach, Mr. Matt Hall, who runs Bulletproof Actor with me, which we're going to be talking a lot about today. Basically, if you're an actor and you want to work more on TV, you want to take more control of your life, you want to stop getting in your own way, you want to live a happier, healthier, wealthier life, get involved in actonthis.tv and bulletproofactor.com. Got you covered on every single level, and just go forth and crush it. But Matt, what are we going to be talking about today, mate, and how are you?
I'm very well. It's a pleasure to be here, as always. I want to say thank you, everybody, for watching. Please do stick with us today and engage with this one. Because it's something that we don't always, cover on sort of mindset and the acting stuff in general. But we were a big believer that, every area of your life affects every area of your life. And what we've learned through creating Bulletproof Actor is one of the biggest blocks for actors when it comes to their mindset, when it comes to pursuing their acting career, is how they're earning money when they're not acting. For a lot of people, they feel trapped in a day job. For a lot of people, they're not earning enough money, or if they are earning good money, they feel like it takes all their time and zaps their energy, their enthusiasm, their motivation. So when it comes to working on the craft and marketing themselves as an actor, they just feel they've got nothing left. And one thing that dawned on us is this is something we cover in real depth on Bulletproof Actor. It's almost like a course in itself in one of the modules. And people are probably not aware. You started your own side hustle as an actor. I started my own side hustle as an actor. And we've now ended up with really successful businesses that we love, which means that we're in control, right? More than we were when we were in day jobs and things like that. So this is an opportunity. We're going to share some of the things we share on Bulletproof Actor to try and help you today. But we also want to open it up and just say, please do engage in the comments. If you've any questions, from two guys who've started businesses, if you have any questions around this side of stuff, about maybe if you are in a day job and you have had ideas about starting a side hustle or a business, but you just maybe don't have the confidence around it, or you're not sure what steps to take, please get your questions in, and we'll just try and help as much of you as possible today, because it's a big topic, isn't it, that we need to cover.
It's a massive one. I've just noticed producer Petch is here as well. I'm going to bring him up on stage in a minute. Thanks for joining us, Petch. I'll get you on in a second. It's a huge one, right? And it's something that we don't talk a lot about right? I'm massive over on actonthis.tv. If you remember, we talk about the business of the business all day long. We talk about you as an actor, as a business, but we don't really talk about business in terms of the way that starting up your own alongside your acting career can really actually, win back time, earn your money on your own terms, and then you can put that into your acting business. So eventually, you're completely in control of your life, because we all know what it's like when you're doing a day job and it's not really what you want to do. I was working in retail for 11 years, Matt. There were parts of it that I enjoyed. I enjoyed talking to the public, sort of like I'm a personal bubble person. I chat to people, I'm pretty good at sales, and that's quite, that was quite good, challenging yourself there. But ultimately I was building someone else's dream. And what I always felt is anytime I got an audition, I almost felt like it was really weird. It was almost sort of like I was letting them down in my day job, pursuing the thing that I actually wanted from my life. It was sometimes an absolute nightmare to get time off. Let us know in the chat if you've ever... This only happened once, where I had an opportunity way back. This is like 15 years ago. And I wasn't allowed to capitalize on that opportunity or go to the audition because I had nobody to cover my shift. It came in last minute, back in the day where we didn't do self-tapes. It was an in-the-room thing. And there was nobody who could do the shift in the morning, bar me. And you'll know what that's like when you're doing a day job and you're like so bitter that you're like, fuck, I should be down there potentially changing my life and my career, but I can't because I'm doing this minimum wage job in a freaking toy shop in the Trafford Centre, which is where I was. And it just really grates on you. And then when you get home at 5 o'clock, once you've done your 9 till 5, we all know you should be using that 5 till 9 for yourself, your acting career, pursuing things. But if you've not got the motivation, the inspiration, because your day job has wrecked you, it's like this horrible cycle that of just decline that you go down. So basically creating your own side hustles, creating your own businesses, and they're going to start off small, but in order to incrementally build up, to start winning back time, whether you earn enough money in a month to take 1 day off, then 2 days off, then maybe 3 days off, a week. it compounds and it completely changes your life. But it's something we've never really spoken about, on Act On This calls. It's something that we go into real depth on Bulletproof Actor. This program, by the way...
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, this program, by the way, the doors closed for this. We're going to talk about Bulletproof Actor today, and there's a lot of people who will be on the fence. Should I do it this year? Should I not? So, of course, we do just once a year for 50 actors, all around high-performance mindset, really just getting you out of your own way. But a big part of it, one of the entire modules in there, is on basically winning back your time, winning back your happiness and your fulfillment, and setting up your own business. So we'll bring some slides up, Matt, from the program itself, and I'm going to show you guys behind the scenes on the program for those people who are like, what is this? I've never heard of it, or like, how can this help me? It's so much more than mindset. It's a high performance mindset coaching program, but we cover everything holistically: your health, your wealth, your happiness, winning back time, side hustles, money, relationships. I mean, ultimately everything. You can apply it to every part of your life.
I can just think straight away as well. We've got some real success stories from that one module alone. I'm thinking straight away we've got Jen who went on to create her own art business after going through this module and the things that we teach on there. She's now got sold out classes. She also has an online art course that she does once a year.
She's got 35,000 members in her Facebook group as well.
69.5 thousand.
Wow, twice as many as I thought. Nearly 70,000, and she's only been building it. We did Bulletproof Actor with her in 2023, I think. She's only been building it a couple of years.
Well, she properly knuckled down just over a year ago. She didn't have that Facebook group a year ago, and she's got nearly 70,000 people in there, all based on the stuff that we've taught in. And she's still pursuing her acting career, but the way she earns her money now is from something she absolutely loves. And like I say, she now has a course, she has a membership, she does in-person classes in a local area. I don't know for certain, but I think she might have completely quit her day job now.
She said in the testimonial video that she left the 40-hour or 60-hour a week day job or something like that. And she teaches people to paint, folks. That's what Jen does. I'm just going to bring
Caroline Neal. She started her business as well. I think helping people with editing as well. Sorry,
video editing.
Petch in.
I was going to say, I'm just going to bring Petch in now, just for a second, Petch. I know you're just down the bottom of here, mate. Here he is. How are you, Petch?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm covering your face up with bulletproofactor.com, but fine. It needs to be there. You've just been editing. Petch, you have a side hustle though, mate. So Petch is an actor. Obviously works for me, and we work together to run Act On This.TV. But you've got this business, that self-tape guy, where you help people with self-tapes. You set that up. You'll go around to people's houses, or they can come to you. That's an income that, well, you obviously don't want to take a day off your day job, mate, because that's working with me. So you want more hours. But if it was, you could take, that's something that you can focus on. You can win back time, put that back in your acting career. It's game changing, isn't it? I reckon everybody should have a side hustle. Let us know in the chat if you are watching live or if you're watching the recording, just where you're at with your job as well. Like, is your day job draining your life? Or is it really adding to your life? Do you have the energy and the motivation to pursue your acting career when you get home from work? Or are you just wanting to sit on the couch and watch Netflix rather than pursue a career to get you on Netflix? I would love to know. Now you're here, Petch. You can bring the comments up as well, mate. Oh, he's done it already. So what's Kate saying? As a single mum who's really trying to give acting a big push now, I'm here for this. My job is a senior producer within commercials. Wow, okay. However, that's all consuming. Excited about Bulletproof Actor. Kate, you're on Bulletproof Actor this year, aren't you? Which is amazing. Say, folks, doors close in 2 days. Bulletproofactor.com. If you want to get involved, I'll show you the site in a minute.
And
but
also Lucy over...
Sorry. Yeah,
sorry,
you were going to say
Instagram
Instagram,
said,
yeah.
Do you want to go for it, Matt?
Yeah, just saying that, I think this is referring to what you're saying, Ross, there about, when you feel you can't take a shift off because nobody's there to cover your shift.
It's horrible. Yeah.
She's saying that's me now. I had an interview for a new job where, if selected, I'm surrounded by all things theatre and it's flexible. So she's hopefully going to at least get into a job that's a little bit more flexible, which is a step in the right direction, I would suggest.
Nice. Yeah. It's because it's horrible when you feel sort of chained to that day job that you don't even like anyway. You're building someone else's dreams, and it's even worse when you're good at it. That's the thing where it's actually, I'm really good at this and I'm putting all of my time into earning other people money, and I'm not really getting what I deserve out of life. So anyone who is overperforming in their day job, and you're actually you could be putting that into your own business because you're good at sales, you're good at stuff. You've got to start thinking.
As well, it's like, I'm just thinking about, because obviously I help people with mindset, but I also am a qualified business strategist, and I help people with businesses and starting side hustles and so on. And some of the best people that do the best that I work with are also actors, because a lot of the things that's going to help you bring in that income on your own terms, not just through your job. If you are going to start some kind of business, I teach a lot about personal branding, utilizing social media, and we talk about people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And one of the best ways to do that is to be active on socials. Go, like we're doing now, go live, do videos, talk on your stories. And actors generally are brilliant at that, because that is them on camera, speaking confidently, which is what actors do. So really, if you are in a day job that you just feel is zapping you of all your energy and enthusiasm for your acting career, at least this is a way you can utilize those skill sets that you use as an actor to make money a little bit more on your own terms. And don't get me wrong, we don't want to sugarcoat it and just sell the dream. Building a business of any kind takes time, and it's hard work.
It's hard work, but it's satisfying because you're building it for you. That's the difference. And every hour you put in, you are going to capitalize on that, as opposed to going, I just put in another 6 hours for this blue chip corporate, job that doesn't appreciate me. And I'm just a number to them, so it's way more satisfying. The Daily says there, I've had a jewelry side hustle, but it didn't take off. I've still got all the tools though, and would love to do that again. Yeah, I mean, if you've still got all of the tools, you've got no more, outlay to do on that, then that's something that maybe with the social media tools that we have today, in terms of being able to photograph your jewelry, get it out there in front of people, e-commerce sites that are very easily doable. Shopify is a great thing you should look at in terms of e-commerce. Wix is a decent platform as well that you can create your own site on to sell. It all links into Facebook, so you can do Facebook ads and get
and
your
I would take
message
another
out there
angle as well. If you're an actor and you've got a product-based business, going back to what I was saying there, still build a personal brand. Like, how interesting would it be, like, a day in the life of, and I don't know if you make the jewelry or you just ship it in or whatever, but just how you run that business. I'm thinking like TikToks and all that kind of stuff. You can create intriguing, interesting, different content around that business. People buy into you as well. So it's not just the jewelry, it's they want to buy it from you. And again, if you're an actor, that's the sort of stuff we're good at anyway, isn't it? Is creating content and filming ourselves and being on camera.
Yeah, and I'd be lending my jewelry to people who are well known in this industry. If you know any famous people or you're on a show with somebody, just go, right, you're going to go and walk the carpet with my jewelry on. Because what's the first thing that they ask? It annoys me, really, because I'm like, I want to know more about them than just what they're wearing. But it's a big thing. They always go, what are you wearing tonight? I'm a bit more like, give them a bit more of a question that gives a more substantial answer. But it seems like everyone wants to know the fashion, doesn't it?
I thought you was going to say, I'm a bit more like black t-shirt, like every day.
Oh, yeah. What are you wearing tonight? Black Bulletproof Actor t-shirt, like every single day. Right, I've got some slides, boys, from module, I think it's 4 of Bulletproof Actor. So we call one of the modules in this program, folks. It's a proper holistic program. If you're thinking of getting involved, I would really implore you to get involved this year. If you are like, you know what, I've been thinking about it previous years, I know I'm getting in my own way, I know I've got so much more to offer this industry. If you're sitting at home knowing you've got so much more potential to fulfill, you're not putting yourself out there, you're not earning money on your own terms, you're not where you want to be, like financially, or when it comes to your happiness and fulfillment around the work you're doing to support your acting career. If you're watching other people get roles on TV where you're like, you know what, I could do that role better than them, but ultimately you're getting in your own way, you've zapped all your motivation, you're procrastinating, you've got no clue how to really sort of like, up your level in life, get involved in this. Module 4 is called Breaking Through the Blocks, and that really is about winning back time and money and earning on your own terms so that you can actually have control over your acting career. I'll bring the slides up, boys. Well, obviously, this is just like half a dozen slides or so from what is a 16-hour program of thousands of slides. But this is a section where we talk about money and just tackling money. And I think it's something that, as Brits, we don't talk about enough. I talk about it a lot, and I'm really transparent when I'm running Act On This and Bulletproof Actor. I show people my receipts. I show people the invoices that I'm sending out into the industry for work, contracts, how much I'm getting paid. A lot of other people in this industry, they don't talk about it. And I'm like, as if it's like a dirty word. It's not. Money is not a dirty word. It's your duty to earn it. If you don't want it, you can look after your friends and loved ones and family with it. That's an amazing thing that money can bring you. It can buy you back freedom. It can help you, sort of build your own dreams, support your loved ones. So we'll go through this and just field some Q&A as well. I would love to get people's interaction on this. So this is the part where we say, now let's talk about money. And we go into most day jobs. And these are just the facts, right? most day jobs only pay minimum wage. They're based on a 0-hour contract, so there's no sort of stability there or guarantee of a an income every single month. They require an actor's complete attention. So whoever it was before saying they can't get time off, that's something that I definitely experienced when I was working for Game, the computer game shop in the Trafford Centre many years ago. Limited flexibility, and they're not tax efficient either. If you are an actor and you're not set up as self-employed, you're literally giving HMRC and our government money for nothing. They don't want me to tell you that, but you can set up as self-employed now, regardless of if you're earning any money from your acting career. And anything you're spending on your acting career, like if you got involved in Bulletproof Actor, or if you got an Act On This membership, or you pay your equity subs, or your spotlight subs, or your acting classes, you could be keeping the receipts for all of that stuff and claiming that back against, well, the tax relief of that, back against your pay-as-you-earn tax that you're earning in your day job that you don't like. You don't know that because no one's really telling you that because they don't want you to know that. But that is the law. Like, you don't have to just claim your tax relief back off money you're earning in your acting career. You can register as self-employed, which is free, and then start saving hundreds of pounds a year if you're investing in your career. So they're just some of the points there. Anything you want to say on those, boys, in terms of some of the negatives of just most day jobs?
I think one of the key things you just covered there is about how we just don't get taught this stuff.
Yeah.
This has been a lot of you will know about my podcast and membership Success School. Like, it's been a big part of my mission is to say, look, traditional education is not equipping us to really set ourselves up for individual success. It's a lot more, I don't want to completely bash it, and I believe it's getting better and things like that, but just generally speaking, most of us, we've really not been taught to understand money, and we've not not been taught how to understand how to use it and use it to our advantage. A lot of us are slaves to money. So even just things like that about being tax efficient, about if you're in a job, it's not the most tax efficient way of making money. People just don't know that, a lot of people. So, I just think it's really important that we help educate people and open their eyes up to what's the best practices for them, what's going to empower them, so that ultimately, what do we all want as humans? As best as possible, we want to have a life where we feel in control to some degree, where we feel we have choice and flexibility and a level of freedom. And ultimately, that's what we're talking about here, and that's the stuff we go into depth in, isn't it, on this module?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you want to add to that, Petch? God, mate, me and you have both done these jobs. You worked in a bar, You worked in a bank. I mean, you were a slave to those, I don't know if they were 0-hour contracts. Was it 0-hour in the bar in Piccadilly? You worked in a train station, didn't you?
Pretty much, yeah. And
so,
I worked at Sports Direct. That was, again, 0-hour contracts. I've done a lot of 0-hour contracts. The other thing I'd add to that is that these jobs are draining, and not just like on your time, but on your emotional state as well. I know a lot of people do these jobs and have all the best intentions in the world of coming home and working on their acting career, but when you've just been shouted at by a random customer and you can't say anything back and your manager isn't sticking up for you, the last thing you really want to do is go, do you know what, I'm going to focus all my energy now, even though it's the best thing to do because it's going to get you out of that kind of situation. You just don't feel in the mood for it, so you sit down usually with a beer or your alcohol beverage of choice, and you watch something else on Netflix, and then you binge watch that, and you just try and shut yourself away from the rest of the world, knowing that you've got to go and do it all again tomorrow. So you're just in this rat race, in this cycle, and this is why I think it's really important to get people out of that.
Definitely. Did anyone resonate with this? When I used to get home from work, and I was like that, basically running away from my life. This like 20 years ago. I would dread the next day so much that I would try and squeeze everything I could out of the time that I had off. I'd stay up really, really, really late, even though I knew I had to get up the next morning dead early to go to work. I still was like, this is my time. I'm having some time to myself. And I stay up watching films or playing computer games, and like you end up like, eating and drinking the wrong food at like really late at night. That's not good for your physicality and your health. So you wake up in the morning feeling even more drained. It's this horrible bloody cycle, all because you're doing something that you dread that you don't really want to do the next day. Let us know if that was anyone here.
People live for the weekend, I find.
In those jobs, if you're lucky enough to have them off.
It's so sad. Like you say, people have got the potential and the talent and the drive. It's not like, I think there's a tendency to be like, how bad do you want it? You're not working hard enough if you're watching Netflix at night. And it's like, it's not as simple as that. People have got stresses, and just to get through the week and make sure they're paying their bills can be really draining, right? Yeah. And then relationships and family and children, there's all these things. It's not a case that they don't want it bad enough. It's just a case of they need help and support to restructure and make some changes to actually make space, not just time for this acting career, but the energy to be in the best mindset possible to really execute on it. So I really, like, anybody that's in that situation, you have my absolute sympathy. It's really tough. And you said it perfectly, Petra, when you said it's a cycle. It just keeps you in this cycle of doing the job to make the money, but hating the job, then needing to relax, to recover from the job, to go to the job again. And it's really, really sad. But hey, look, here's the thing. What's the solution? And we have to take personal responsibility. And we have to say, if I want it to change, there's only me that can make that change. And that's what we're trying to help people with this live today. And it's what we talk about in the course as well, is helping empower you and give you clear steps so it's not overwhelming on how you can make those changes if you want to.
Yeah, Catherine, and we're going to give you some ideas today as well.
Sorry, mate, Catherine on Instagram said something really thought-provoking here. She's put, I am working to live at the moment, and I feel so unfulfilled with what I am doing.
Catherine, we've all been there, and we're going to help you get out of it. Honest to God. All I can say to you is stay optimistic, stay hopeful, because there really is a way, because I've done it, Matt's done it, Petra's done it. We're all talking about stuff that we've actually done ourselves, and I'm going to give you some practical advice on here as well. I just wanted to say this, though. There will be some people watching this, and they're like, actually, you know what? You're lucky enough to be in a day job, but you've got a good salary, right? You're a high earner. And normally we'd warn people up to this, Matt. This might seem a bit harsh here, right? I'm not just going to... Right, these slides would normally come in 4 modules and roughly 8 hours into this 16-hour program, right? So this might seem harsh, but people will be warmed up to this. Here's a statement for you, though. Even if you are a high earner and you're doing well, right? Have you just sold your dreams for 30 or 40 grand? Are you like, you know what? Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm earning 40k a year in this corporate job. That's enough for me to live comfortably. But are you so comfortable, to the point where the pain of change is actually greater than the pain you're in your unfulfillment of life? But that's not an excuse or a reason to stay there. We often say people change when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change. Sometimes it's flipped the other way, and you're like, actually, you know what? I hate what I'm doing, but it's comfortable. It gets me my car payment, and it gets me my 1 holiday a year. And you're looking forward to that 10 days off a year where you get to go and do something quite swanky in a nice hot country. And all you do for the rest of the year is post photographs of your hot dog legs on the beach on Instagram with the quote, "Take me back." I mean, I see it all the time, man. And it's just like, we can't do that. We want to get you to a place where you're earning money on your own terms, so then you can, have a nice life anyway. You've got time to put in your acting career. You can earn more money over that side. So you can go on those holidays way more than 10 days of the year, and you don't have to just constantly be like, take me back, take me back, take me back. So might seem harsh, but yeah, I just wanted to put that in there.
Well, they call it, is it like golden handcuffs? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, yeah. But it's like prison.
Thing. Yeah, I was speaking to a really good friend of mine the other day, and they're in a really good paying job, but they're having to sort of work a few hours before they start just to be on top. And then when they finish at the end of the day, they're feeling like they need to stay behind and work. And they're trying to get promoted. And they're thinking, actually, the person above me in this industry is working just as hard. So it just seemed like the culture is you get far if you're willing to work extra hours and work weekends and work evenings. So this person was just saying they could see even if they go higher up in this industry, it's still going to be the same culture of you need to work more than you have time for anything else. So especially as actors, you've got to be so careful that you're not just chasing the money. If you've got a talent and a passion and something you'd much rather do, you could really suffer with your mental health if you just chase the money and then work all hours and have nothing left for the thing you love the most. And unfulfillment and things like that can be a very real thing. So it's about, I know it's not always easy, but it's just about being mindful of how we're making the money. And is it really aligned with what we truly want to be doing? And if not, looking at how we can change that.
Yeah, Mary Beth says there, Petch, she's bringing that up. She's like, this is my situation, guys, but it's a lot more than that. And it pays our mortgage, so it's more money than on the screen there. It pays the mortgage. I feel guilty leaving it. Oh, what? And I totally get that, Mary Beth, 100%. You know, it could be 80k, it could be 100k. A lot of people would be happier, I think, you know, earning less but having more freedom to do the things that they want. So you've got to look at sort of like, you know, you're living within your means. You know, you might not have to have the 5-bedroom house, the 6-bedroom house, the car that you think you own, but actually it owns you. And the side hustle, the great thing about this is, you know, the side hustle can become fully fledged businesses that can bring in a lot more than this, double this, triple this, quadruple this. Yeah. You know, and you can build those businesses as a solopreneur or with, you know, with some help from just a very small team of people. So we will look at you know, some of the ideas from people who have been through Bulletproof Actor, have had, and how the businesses that they've created, businesses you've created, Matt, businesses I created, businesses you've created, Petch. What were the next slides? I don't want to go into too much depth here. That's about the responsibility of that day job killing your output. So in the program, we talk about focusing on your output rather than the outcome. And obviously, as an actor, the more you can output into the industry, that's your work, that's networking, that's meeting people, adding value. You know, the more opportunity you're going to get. You don't need to worry about the outcome. Just focus on your output. You'll get lots of opportunity then, and then the outcomes that you get. Yes, some won't be the ones you want, but a lot of them will do. They will be the ones you want. I'm going to take this off for a second. I'm going to get to the point where we look at figuring out what it is people should be doing, boys, in terms of just some ideas for.
Is there any other comments, Petch, or anything?
Yeah, Richard Lloyd has said, I did 20 years in the corporate world and now run my own business and can spend my time on my acting career.
Oh, well yes, done. Rich. Mate, again, living proof that it is possible. So there'll be people here and they're like, right, okay, I have had an idea for a side hustle, or maybe I've not had an idea for a side hustle. It is something that I'd like to pursue. Maybe it seems overwhelming though, and I just need some courage to actually do it. Regardless of where you're at, I'm going to bring up a diagram now. And it's just, we'll talk this through, and it's just to help people figure out maybe what it is that they could do to start a side hustle, start a business that's actually going to lead to something that could be quite substantial down the line. You might be like, I have nothing to offer. What skills do I have? You'd be surprised when you start thinking, you know, properly about, you know, what you do, what you enjoy, and the skills that you've got, actually how saleable they are to other people. So I'm going to bring this up. And this is where people can begin, Matt, basically. This is something that we talk about within Bulletproof Actor. Do you want to walk us through this?
Yeah, absolutely. So these are just 3 things to really think about. And I say really think about, like, take some time, because sometimes the answers are not obvious. So you start with number 1, what do I love? And you really want to think about not just what do I love within my job, but what are my hobbies? What are my passions? And you know, what did I used to love? Like, for me, something when I started running businesses and doing various things, something that I remembered is when I was a teenager, I just used to love writing scripts. I used to do that. Like, from being, not even a teenager, from being a child, it was really, like, quite unique. Because a lot of people yeah, have I never told you that?
It rings a bell, but where did you discover that from a kid then? Like, who put the idea in your head? Or how did you find you liked it?
I was like 8 or 9 years old and just started watching like soaps and TV dramas, right? And I was like, I just was always, for whatever reason, I was always more compelled to that way of formatting a story rather than a really long book or a movie that's 2 or 3 hours and then it's done unless there's a sequel. I love that continuation of, so for example, I would look at a soap on like ITV and I would think, or a drama, an hour's drama, and I'd be like, that used to be in like 4 parts. I don't know if it is anymore. So you'd need sort of like 4 anticlimaxes for the ad breaks. Then you'd need another sort of cliffhanger to then, because back then you had to wait a week to watch the next episode, right? So you needed a cliffhanger at the end of the episode to keep people engaged and talking about it, ready for the next one. And then at the end of the series, you need an even bigger cliffhanger so that they wanted to see you next year come back. And I just loved that way. Anyway, as an 8, 9-year-old, genuinely, I just used to write TV dramas. And I wrote series. One show I did, I remember I wrote about 10 series of like 16 episodes. Crazy. As a kid.
Wow. Okay.
As a kid. So anyway,
I love the scripts.
And I've still got them probably in my parents' loft or whatever, right?
We're all actors looking for work, Matt. We'll do it.
Honestly, yeah, there were so many great ideas. But anyway, I don't write anymore. I mean, I do, because I do copy with my emails and social media content. So you still find a way to use that skill. But I wouldn't have thought of that until I did this exercise and went a bit deeper and were like, do you know what? I've got a real talent for writing and script writing, and I love that. So that's the thing to really reflect on. Some of it might be something like you might have played a sport when you was a child and you've not played that anymore, but actually it is a passion of yours. So the first one is think about things that you love. The second thing is, what am I actually good at? Now, this is skills, but you don't have to just think of skills you qualified in and things that got you a job. Skills are things like, I'm good with empathy.
Yes.
I'm good with listening. I'm good at asking the right questions to evoke a better answer from people. These are great skills that can be an asset to a business that are not necessarily the traditional skills that you'd put on a CV as such. And then the third one is looking at how can we create something that combines the two, what you love and what you're actually good at, to produce something that people actually want and need and are willing to pay for. Now, one of the big ones, we'll go through some examples in a second, but just a general thing for most people is some form of teaching online. Ultimately, that's what we do a lot of, right? And it's usually a lot of people think, oh, but I'm not an expert, or I've not done it for long enough, or I don't. For example, right, if you can do the basics on guitar, and I can't even like put my hands right on a guitar,
I can't even hold one. Petch can play, like he can properly play. Like, you might go, I'm not an expert because I've not got grade 8 classical guitar. I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm just making it up. But, you know, you might be like, you might have this limited belief about yourself, like, oh, I could never teach guitar because I'm not, you know, like Aerosmith or whatever what they call Axl. Yeah, that kind of Axl Rose. That's it. What was he in? He was in a
Guns
band.
N' Roses.
Yeah,
Guns
that one.
N' Roses.
I'm so cool. I just know all the names. I'm very rock and roll. But yeah, you might be like, well, I'm not in Guns N' Roses, so I can't teach people how to play the guitar. I have this imposter syndrome around it. It's absolute nonsense. If you can literally show me how to play a chord, Matt, you're an expert. You just got to be one step ahead of me to continue teaching me, and I'll continue to pay you because you know more than me. And I'm going to get it done faster because you already know rather than me having to figure it out.
Because this comes back to this concept of finding your niche and knowing what your target audience is. So yeah, if you was going to teach Axl Rose, they're probably like, it's not going to pay you for that, right? But if you're teaching me and Ross, we would if we wanted to learn. So it's about not being overwhelmed by needing to be the best in the world and be able to help everybody. It's about knowing, who can I target that need and want this? They're my audience, and that's who I'm going to sell it to. So quite often, we've all got experiences, we've all got talent. Like, for a lot of you as actors, you could create a business just around confidence on camera.
Yep.
Or confidence around public speaking. Because it's renowned, isn't it, that it's one of people's biggest fears, or like one of the top 2 biggest fears for a lot of people is the idea of speaking in public, right?
I know quite a few people who will go into corporate environments, and they're actors. They've been acting a long time. They might not be, in work on Netflix right now or Amazon or something like that, but they're solid actors. They've done theatre. They know how to hold themselves in front of an audience and command a stage, especially if they've done live theatre. It's even more so than screen work. And they go into corporate, businesses where those people who work within those businesses will have to go to other businesses and do presentations, and they've got to be confident in those presentations. And they will teach people how to have a confidence posture. How to sort of like deliver with meaning in terms of their lines when they're presenting, and just hold an audience, breath work, calming their nerves before they go in, as we all would have to do before we go on stage and stuff. There's a lot of transferable skills actors have that you can transfer to the real world. And when you're teaching businesses, particularly if those businesses are doing business to business work, they will pay you handsomely for that. Like a grand plus a day to go in.
And a lot of people think, oh, but I'm not an expert. It's like, well, you can confidently speak on camera or on stage. So all you have to do is take some time to break that process down. Why are you able to do that? What are the things that you've put in place and learned along the way that you can now teach to others? And you just need to break it down and create your teaching method. And I was even thinking then wedding speeches, best men speeches and things like that. People are willing to pay an expert in because it's a big deal and they don't want to mess it up. So they will invest in getting support with stuff like that, right?
I wonder if that's even a thing, because that's a really great idea.
Oh, it is.
I'm just like, it's a really, I don't know how many people are doing it, but yeah, being able to confidently stand up and deliver a really memorable speech, as if as an actor it was a monologue that you're standing up on stage and delivering. We all have these skills. Now the thing is, I think we all take them for granted, and when we really know how to do something well, we just think, oh, everyone knows how to do that. What's special about that?
So
it's
true.
really special.
Yeah, I speak to my girlfriend all the time. She's one of the smartest people when it comes to science, and it comes like she helps people with like personal training and nutrition, but she's not just a standard PT. Like she really knows the science and stuff because she's also a clinical scientist as well. So she really knows her stuff. And I'm like, oh, but she's like, I know. And I'm like, the stuff you're talking about, most people would never know. You just take it for granted because you know it. Another quick one I want to just share, though, to get people thinking about these ideas is it could just be a hobby. Like, what do I love? What am I good at? You might love your football team and be really good at chatting about your football team, right? Who's to say you can't create a membership where over time you then interview people and get players on? If you get enough people, like Petch, we know you're a big Leeds fan, right? With David Beckham.
Yeah, he uses a lot of David Beckham. He uses a lot of David Beckham analogies, though.
That's the joke. Just so you know, I'm not big on football, but I do know Beckham was Man U. It's just a gag that we had probably the other day about your analogy. But if you could. I'm sure they might even exist where people would pay a tenner a month or whatever to be part of. Goes right.
Petch listens to one. He knows this.
Yeah, I was just about to say that there's a guy who set up a Leeds news channel on YouTube, and all he does every day is he trolls the newspapers and the Leeds United site and Google like Leeds United and any tiny bits of news that come up regarding to Leeds. He collates it all and he makes it digestible, and he'll release every day a 10 to 12 minute video on the news, and that has built up over time. I think he's got close to 15,000 people now, and he's got a membership site on it, and he's got a premium site, and he gets like coaches and players and stuff like that, and it's evolved beyond the news to like proper podcast chats and interviews, and he gets paid, and I think he's even got a sponsor now for the site. And like,
I'm terrible at maths. What's 10% of, if they've got like 15,000, let's say, what would be 10% of that?
That's 1,500.
So 1,500, let's say they're paying a tenner a month to be in an exclusive membership. That's 15 grand a month.
Yeah. Honestly,
so just 10% of them paying £10 a month. And another one for some of you watching, it might be a theatre membership. Like you could do a theatre membership, talking to and like interviewing people on the West End, or do you know what I mean? So really, I think sometimes we get a bit confused because old school business felt like this big barrier to entry, and you needed premises and staff and these bricks and mortar style businesses. But with the invention of the internet and then social media and now artificial intelligence, it's never been easier to create something of value, to connect that with your audience with low barrier to entry. You're not going to spend thousands of pounds in marketing anymore. Just create great content to start creating something that could pay you thousands a month from your bedroom, which all three of us are in right now. Literally.
Yeah, spare bedroom.
I told a lie, sorry. It's not 15,000, it's 60,000. I've just checked his subscribers.
Oh, well, he's doing all right. So I said to Petch for years, though, mate, I was like, he's a massive Marvel fan. I was like, if you could set up a community out. Basically, this is the thing to think about, folks, right? If you like it, no matter how niche it is, right, I promise you there'll be 1,000 people out there who also like it, and you only need 1,000 people to change your life. You don't need 60,000 in your group all paying. 1,000 all paying you a $5 a month would change the game for most people here. I'm pretty sure. I'm part of a group. This, again, this is so random, but people who know me know that I enjoy vintage Pokemon cards, right?
Yes, I knew
because
we were going there.
It's an entire market in itself. There's a lot of money traded in this. They're kind of like alternative investments. I pay $7.99 a month to a Discord channel to be part of that, to talk about investments and what's the hot thing to buy, what to trade, what's doing well, what isn't. And there's tens of thousands in that. So they're making an absolute killing, whoever's doing that, and that's running a Discord channel, which is just basically one big chat room. There's no content around it. There's no videos. It's just us all having access to be able to chat. There are amazing, a lot of things out there
Sorry, just thought of one while you were talking about you loving to write, Matt, and then we got on to wedding speeches. You could even offer to write people's speeches.
Yeah,
if you're good. Yeah,
if they come to you with these are the facts and these are like the anecdotes I want to get in, can you structure it and like put jokes in there?
Yeah,
I'm sure that'd sell.
Right. Well, we're gonna bring up some ideas now for you, and some of these are in the physical world. It's not just all like online stuff. There might be people who are like, I don't want to dabble online. I want to set something up that I can do in the real world to get me out from behind my screen. You'll still probably have to promote it online to get customers.
Just get online.
But there are other things that you can do. So we've got just some examples here, right? So I created 3 columns, and one column is what do I love? That's the question you've got to ask yourself. What am I good at? That's the other one. And then the third one is what will people pay for? So these are based on real life examples as well. They're not pie in the sky things. We know people who have done this, right? Matt, particularly on this first one, someone who's been mega successful at this. Someone who loves animals. What are they good at? Walking. Maybe you get your 10,000 steps in a day. You're adamant on that. You've got a 2-year streak every single day getting your 10,000 steps in. What will people pay for? Dog walking. Tell us a story about that woman who's made a multi-million-pound dog walking company, Matt. You interviewed her.
Yeah, she literally did. I think she set it up in lockdown or around then. I think within her first year, I can't remember the exact numbers now, but I think the first year she turned over 350,000, was it?
It was something like that, yeah.
She did like walking, and I think it was dog grooming as well. I think and now she's got all different companies and various.
She does
things,
dog treats now as well and stuff like that. But it started off just walking dogs to the point where she couldn't walk anymore herself in terms of take control of them. So then started outsourcing, getting friends involved, and then taking a cut. Basically franchising out this like dog walking company. Going right, here's 5 dogs you can walk in a day, and ended up building this big company till it's multiple millions now. And it's a brand in itself. And no, I don't believe any sort of like other track record of businesses, Matt. It was just sort of like a needs must thing in lockdown because it's like, our jobs are no longer safe necessarily. Let's do something for ourselves. And that's, it was a really inspiring chat. Yeah, you had her on a podcast. Other things we know people have done. What do I love? Computers. Maybe you're a geek, right? And you're good at designing websites. I know lots of people.
You just said that. Maybe you're a geek. You just said that dead like
he's talking
you're
about
just
himself,
a geek and just said it deadpan and kept talking.
It's because he's talking about
It's because I'm talking about myself.
That's what I knew. You were talking about yourself in a jokey way. You said it to the viewers. Maybe you're just a geek.
Maybe just a geek like me. This is what I started doing. I got into this industry, into network, with casting directors listed 20 years ago. I knew I was good at building websites. I rang a dozen casting directors' offices up in the north, and I offered to build their websites for free if I could come in and do it from their offices to learn about casting. And I ended up working at Beverly Keir's office. I did Beverly Keir's website, Michael Jackson's website, not the King of Pop, the casting director. I did David Shaw's website, David Martin's website, Daniel Edwards' website. I did half of the TV industry's casting directors' websites because that was what I knew I was good at. And I could charge good money for that as well. It also made me, popular with the casting directors because I was helping them run their businesses. So I got to network and meet people in this industry. But I know a lot of actors who do this for other actors. Maybe, you want to set up your own website to promote yourself. Maybe you want to promote a web series. Maybe you want to promote a voiceover career. Lots of different things within your acting career. If you're an actor and you can do websites and you promote that stuff for yourself, offer other actors that as a service. I'll set your website up for 200 quid, 300 quid. Like, it's earning money on your own terms. And it's good money in web design as well because it's a skill. It's not everyone can do it. You hate tech, Matt.
Oh, God, yeah, I'll pay whatever. Just do it for me. Literally anything. But another one is AI, like really understanding how to utilize artificial intelligence and things like ChatGPT, because I feel like a lot of business owners know that it's important and know that it's the thing that's going to, change the game and is changing the game. A lot of people don't know how to properly use it. So if you could just study it, even if you're just good with tech, you might not be an expert right now, but if you just spent a few weeks listening to podcasts on AI, watching tutorials and webinars and YouTubes and reading books, you could very quickly know way more than the average business and ways that they can do things more effectively, efficiently, save money. That's an asset for a business that you can either put a course together or you can do it for them or you can teach them. There's ways you can go about it, various ways. So that could be something to look into,
Without a doubt. There's the guitar one that we mentioned before. I like music. I'm good at playing the guitar. I can do online guitar lessons. Matt, you and I met in the States, that guy behind us in the queue who was earning multiple six figures a year, like $200,000, $300,000 a year with a simple guitar course online where he's taking people from beginner, as in never picked up a guitar, to being able to play a few chords and put, a bit of melody together. Super nice bloke. And just, film some videos, put a course together, one and done in terms of, once you've done it, put effort into it, make it look good, make it sound good. It's music after all. But then, you can then serve that to as many people as you want. It's not like you're going, I've got to book you in at 2:30 on a Tuesday. You've got a course there that you can send traffic to all day, every day. And if that product, I think his was only cheap, man. It was like $97 or something like that.
Right.
But just the sheer amount of traffic through driving some Facebook ads to it, for people who had shown some kind of interest in guitars across social media, he got a lot of people to his course, and then a lot of people were like, right, I've never learned. This is really affordable. Let's go. Let's see if I can get myself to a really basic level of being able to even pick this thing up and, look like I know what I'm doing. Arts and crafts. I know people who do this. They're like, I'm really arty. Etsy's a massive platform, folks. You probably buy your arts and crafty stuff off Etsy. Maybe that's bespoke birthday cards and, I don't know, prints and things like that. I'm sure we've all been to Etsy to buy someone a gift. I know people making a lot of money just making bespoke, custom-made candles because they were good at making candles. They made them for themselves and their family. And I'm like, hang on a minute. Why are you not putting these online? Because you know how expensive candles are in the shops. Like, some of them can be like 30, 40, 50 quid more. If you are decent at making that stuff and you know where to get the wax from and the oils and whatever you put in to make them smell amazing, and you can do them in bulk over a weekend, whack them up on Etsy for 15 quid, they're costing you $5 each. Money on autopilot.
There's them melts, isn't there? Is it called? I don't know if they're
they're going like oil burners, like you melt them. I know what you mean. Yeah,
and it could be you can do. I bought one once off. I saw an ad on TikTok or whatever, and it was like your favorite aftershaves.
Oh, right, okay.
So you could get like a Tom Ford or whatever melt, and you, like you say, it goes in your burner, and then your room smells of your favourite aftershave or perfume or whatever. And I saw the person doing it. They had an Instagram and what have you, and it was just a little, I think, a one-person band just doing it from their home.
Yep. But yeah, that's just starting off simply. Again, we're just looking at going, what can we do to win back even a day, a week off our day job? Because if you do that, that's 8 hours a week you can put into your acting career. If you do that 1 day a week for a month, 32 hours a month extra you can put into your acting career. It's game changing. It's like a full-time week in your acting career every single month.
This is basically what you did, isn't it, Ross?
Yep.
This is actually your genuine story as someone who's still a working actor today and regularly gets work, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This is it. I was working for minimum wage in a toy shop. I had a bit of an ultimatum, basically. My boss was like, I wanted some time off to do an audition. I had a boss once that was really understanding, and he'd let me off like any time. Phil Whitnell, shout out to Phil. He'll never see this. And then we had this new, this new boss called Jen. Oh, I won't say her second name, but she was an absolute bitch. She hated me. I think what it was is, and I get it. I've got empathy now. I'm older and more mature. I couldn't see it back then. I really get it. She was in a job she hated. She didn't like it, the fact that someone else was actually like, this isn't going to be me forever, and this is not what I'm going to pursue. I'm going to pursue something else for the rest of my life. And, she didn't like the fact that I wasn't like, that wasn't my life, So I think anytime I was like, I've got an audition for this TV thing, there was probably jealousy there. And they was like, well, you're not having the time off because there's no one to cover your shift. And just got an ultimatum where I was like, look, I'm going to have to just go. And I saved up money initially. That's one thing you'll probably have to do, folks. You can't just start a business up and suddenly go, right, I can just leave my job tomorrow. I cut back on all my nonsense expenses. I really did. I stopped buying, T-shirts that were expensive from Selfridges. I stopped going out the weekend. I didn't buy any alcohol. I didn't buy any coffees. Saved up about 6 months of salary. And then I left. And the fear of knowing I only had 6 months to figure this out really propelled me to sit down and use my working days like I was in work. Wow. And I really pursued voiceover, was one of the first things, and an acting agent. And I achieved a voiceover agent and an acting agent within 6 months because I sat there and I recorded voice demos all day, every day. I really studied it. I used some of the money to go to acting classes, more, really sort of work on my craft, network more, shoot a few self-tapes, sent them off to agents. 6 months later, basically, I had an agent in both areas. And I started trickling in like one job of voiceover a month, but that one job sometimes could give me a month's worth of salary. of what I was earning.
Was that what you're saying was your side hustle business initially? It was the voiceover?
It was more going, how can I set up a business within my own acting career initially? And then I learned enough about voiceover to go, I can teach this to other actors.
Got it.
So that became my side hustle, going, actually, you know what? I'm going to set up a workshop teaching other actors how to do voiceover, because it was starting to take off for me a little bit. Not loads. I was having one job a month, but that one job might have been $1,000. Now, my minimum wage job was only paying that at the time for 40 hours a week. Yeah. So then I teamed up with my voiceover agents and was like, look, let's set up this company, and, you know, I'll go thirds with you. I had to pay the studio a third, my voiceover agent a third, and I got to keep a third. And we started doing this thing called VO Focus that Petch will remember, because you came on one of the...
I remember it.
Do you?
Did it have a green, black and... some green on the
logo, yeah. And a gold microphone. Yeah. VO
so what
Focus.
Would that have been, like 2011?
Oh, it was early, it was probably 10, 11.
Yeah, I can remember it.
Yeah. And it was really successful, man.
I think I considered signing up to it.
Yeah.
I think I did.
I love it. I couldn't believe, actually, how I hadn't done it earlier. I was like, oh my God, I had convinced myself I had to stay in those four walls in that hellhole. And just be there to just take the shit off other people. People would come in. Anyone who works in retail, like, oh my God, I've got so much respect for you. Because people would come in and they'd throw like an Xbox down on the counter. They'd go, that's effed. As if I manufactured it, as if I actually made it. And they'd treat you like hell, like crap. You know, you were there as this person to serve them. No respect at all. And I just was like, I can't believe I put up with this for so long. One thing, if you've worked in a shit job, by the way, where you've been treated like really poorly, it sets you up as a business owner, because you know how to treat people. You'll go, you know what, I'll never do that. I'll make sure that my customers feel cared for. So that's good in a way. You get to see both sides of that.
I was the same. My first business is obviously the management of the tribute acts and the function bands and stuff. So I set that up when I was 19, and I set up that company off the back of working as a tribute act. And just absolute truth is, we had an absolute arsehole manager. He was horrible. He was horrible to us. He was horrible to the clients. And he just relied on the fact that he had talent. So he let the talent do all the speaking. And then he felt like he could just demand and be an arsehole. And just working with him for 18 months, whatever it was, it just taught me everything I didn't want to be and how not to treat people. So you always take those positives, don't you, from these difficult experiences. They really set you up. And also, I think the resilience that you need in business when you've had a job where it's knocking you down, and you know, that resilience to keep doing the shift and turning up and pushing through. Again, it's really setting you up for the acting industry in general as well, I guess.
Yeah, because some businesses will fail. Before, when I was actually at Game, I'd set up multiple businesses before VO Focus. That was a successful one. Yeah. Act On This obviously has been really successful, but I set up I used to dabble. I wanted anything to get out of that hellhole. So when in the crash in 2008, the financial crash, I started looking at stock market, you know, because all the shares had gone. Royal Bank of Scotland shares had fallen from £5 to like 9p. And I was like, hang on a minute, if I've got a couple £100 here, like, I'm going to start buying some of this, because maybe it might go up, won't go back up to a fiver. What if it goes to £1? 10 times my money. And I got really into that. And there was no community to talk about stock market, like, you know, small time share dealing for people like me who didn't have loads of money. So I set up a community called sharespeak.co.uk. Now, I mean, I was thinking of charging people like £2.95 a month to join it or something like that. Got a few members on board, but, you know, I realised after 3 months that wasn't really going to go anywhere, to be honest. But I did have all of the knowledge that I'd learned setting that up to go, well, what else can I set a community up around? So I tried loads of stuff before the voiceover thing came in. You know, like, you're not necessarily going to hit it off straight away. Your first idea is going to be a home run. But regardless if it fails, you're going to learn so much through the experience of setting that company up that your next company, you'll be able to set up miles faster, you know, with all the learnings there as well. So I'll take some other, we won't go through all of these examples, but other things here. I know people who've done really well out of cakes. They're really good at, shout out to Emma, lived opposite me actually at my mum's house years ago. She's got like a really incredible cake business now, which is great at, loved cakes, loved baking. Set up a company doing custom cupcakes, birthday cakes. It's now like in this area where I am in Manchester, like the #1 place to go and get your cake done. Like, they do amazing stuff. But there's actors who have done this as well. Laurie, who I went to drama school with, she did this for a while. She set up a baking company, started supplying local bakeries with stuff like that. There's a lot of money in it. Cupcakes, you go to artisan markets. Anyone notice this? They're over £5 now sometimes. I mean, it's quite expensive.
For one.
For one. I mean, they're gourmet and they're massive, but they're not costing £5 to make, are they? Bit of flour and sugar and stuff.
What if you love cakes and you're good at eating?
Yep. Don't eat your stock. Cook a separate batch.
Very, very expensive business.
Yeah. a separate batch for yourself. One for you, one for them. One for you, one for them. I know actors who have been really good at, well, look at Jen, like really good at painting. She actually ended up setting up a business around painting, didn't she? But I'm sure, we got an example there. Look, I love painting. I'm really good with makeup. I'm going to do kids' parties, face painting. I know people who have set up businesses like that. Dancing, I like inspiring people, so I'm going to do dance lessons. Even people there at the bottom, you can't really see it. And this is the one I thought, there's a job out there, there's a side hustle for everyone. If you really love socialising and you like drinking, right, when you're good at making cocktails, corporate events. Where you actually go and, if you really want to do it, set up a business supplying great cocktails to corporate events.
Probably got a point. You got to be careful if you don't want to end up drinking all the cocktails.
No, make a batch for you, batch for them.
You know me too well, Matt.
I knew that's where he was going with it.
Could be non-alcoholic cocktails though. You never know. So there's, you watching videos. You do this, Petch, a little bit. What do I love? Watching videos. I'm good at editing self-tapes and vlogs. You edited my vlog for years. I paid you for that. People come to you all the time. Yeah, go to youtube.com/Watch Ross after this. You can check out some of those vlogs.
I was interviewed on one.
You were in it. Exactly, Matt. And you do all the editing for Act On This now, Petch. But people come to you and just want you to edit their self-tapes, mate, don't they? Just like, look, will you just do it all for me because I don't really know how to do this.
Self-tapes, showreels, anything really.
Yeah, it's just it's providing a solution to people's problems ultimately, and if you providing that solution involves doing something that you love, that's what's going to keep you in the game. Because when times are tough and building a business is difficult. There's no doubt about that. It does require work and hustle, and consistency is the number one word there. But the rewards are incredible when you're actually working on your own terms and you go, right, if I need a day off for an audition, I'm having it because I'm the boss. If I need, a few days off because I've got a job on a TV show and I'm going to be away filming for 3 or 4 days or a week or whatever, I can do it. Yes, you have to put some things in place to keep the business running. Maybe you need a little bit of help, but at least you're not building just someone else's dream all the time. Anything else you want to say on those examples, Matt?
I just want to say, has anyone got any questions, or is this helpful? Yeah. Is this giving you ideas? I've just logged onto the Instagram. I see Jordan Muscle, says, is this acting school union or casting agent? I'm confused. I think, are they getting confused with what you guys are, or?
So we're actors ultimately, and so we run actonthis.tv and bulletproofactor.com, and actonthis.tv is really teaching people about the business of the business. Bulletproof Actor, I'll show you actually. I'll bring the site up in a minute because we've got enrollment for this program open literally right now until midnight UK time on Friday, the 7th of March. It's the only, to my knowledge, the only high-performance, science-backed high-performance mindset coaching program for actors on earth. It's all obviously about mindset, positive psychology, getting out your own way, really crushing limiting beliefs you might have about yourself. If you're sat there and you've got so much more potential to offer this industry, but you've got no motivation, you're not inspired, you don't really know what to do, you've got no direction, you're getting in your own way, you're telling yourself things like you're not good enough for this, that, and the other, even though you've got the talent, you're really sort of... not fulfilling your potential. This program is the most in-depth program that I've ever seen on this topic, but for actors particularly. And just one part of it is what we were going to talk about today. Is the side hustle thing. It's winning back time, winning back money, earning money on your own terms. So I'll bring the website up and we can show you a little bit more about it. I can even go backstage and show you the behind the scenes. Have we got that? That's the website. So you can go to bulletproofactor.com right now. You might have seen us advertising this program. We've had the registration page open for a couple of weeks now. We only let 50 actors into this once a year. And this might be, unfortunately, just because of schedules, this might be the last time we can actually do this live. It involves a 16-hour pre-recorded course, basically, but it also involves 8 hours of live coaching with me, Matt and Petch, 3 months in a Facebook group, 3 months in a WhatsApp group for accountability. It's super, super, super in-depth. It literally covers probably literally every part of your life when it comes to success, Matt, in terms of, not just your acting career, your mindset, but your health, your nutrition, your sleep, your finances, your relationships. You can read obviously all about the program. You can read all about Matt and I, Matt's background. You can see testimonials from people who have been through the program over the last couple of years. There's Rachel Shenson, who took this program with me initially when I first launched an original version of this in 2014. Retook it with us a few years ago, but Rachel went on to really sort of mindset out around writing. She was like, I'm an actor, I'm really successful in the acting, but I feel an imposter when it comes to writing. She was getting in her own way, talking herself out of it. Did the program, in her own words, Bulletproof Actor was game-changing, went on to write and then win an Oscar for her writing for The Silent Child. You can see other examples of actors who have gone on to do awesome things, land TV jobs because they finally got out of their own way, set up businesses that have changed the game for them, produce their own award-winning work. You can read all about the bonuses on there. It's over $1,000 worth of bonuses. I say 8 hours of coaching. Live still to come, 3 months in the Facebook group. We open the WhatsApp group tonight at 5 o'clock, actually. I'm going to do that. Matt gives away free podcasts that he's done with other incredible people. There's a payment plan. It's the first time we've offered a payment plan on this as well, so you can spread the cost over 6 months, because I know people have asked us to do that in the past. But it is game-changing. What should we talk about? Should we go backstage on it, Matt? Should I show people how it actually is laid out and stuff?
Yeah, I think that can be useful if people are on the fence and they're just not sure. Because we really have. I mean, we've been, doing this last couple of years now, haven't we? We've really made sure it's the best course we could possibly create. Like you say, it's not just about mindset so that you're confident in your acting career. It's about really equipping you with the self-development required to improve every area of your life. Like we're saying, financially, relationships, self-confidence, career, every area of your life.
Being more productive, crushing procrastination, calming anxiety, making sure that you are super confident going into high pressure situations, and that confidence is real. It's not faked. You're not walking into an audition room or doing a self-tape, blagging yourself that, oh, it's okay, you'll be all right. It's knowing, you're going to be not just all right, knowing you're going to smash this because you've done the work. This is all science-backed high performance mindset strategy, not, airy-fairy, just wish for it and it'll happen. This is the stuff that, elite athletes use to break, records and what people thought the human body was once, not even capable of. We talk about that, don't we? It's only impossible till it's done. We talk about Roger Bannister and breaking the 4-minute mile, all those years ago. Before he'd done that, people didn't even think that was achievable by humans. And as soon as he did it and other people saw it possible, his record, don't want to spoil a bit of a spoiler, his record lasted 43 days because other people went, oh my God, this is actually possible. So it's showing you what's possible for your life and your acting career. We go through the science of success, goal setting. There's one thing within goal setting that everyone here, unless you've done this program, I promise you're not thinking about when you're setting goals. Actors set goals priming themselves for failure in so many ways. Whereas if you understand the goal-setting gap there, module 2, you'll see it. And these are all 2-hour modules. It's in-depth stuff. It's going to require commitment from you. If you utilize this one thing that plugs that goal-setting gap, we teach you how to set goals in a way, and this might sound big, but almost in a way that makes it impossible for them not to hit. Impossible for you not to hit those goals. We go through being productive and focusing on your output over your outcome, breaking through those blocks of a day, a draining day job, having no time, having no money for your career, procrastination annihilation. If you label yourself as a procrastinator, I just procrastinate all the time, and you don't feel productive. You're busy, being busy right now. This is going to help you blast through that. 7 levels deep is probably one of the most powerful modules in the whole thing, Matt, in terms of the impact that makes on people. Anything you want to say on that? Because you take someone live, on the course, you take them through that in that module, and it's game changing.
It's an emotional one. We always joke, don't we, saying most people will find themselves in tears when they go through that, and we always say, you might be thinking, why would I pay you money to have me in tears? But the truth is, it's because it really gets you to reflect on your life. It really gets you to take stock on what you want, why you want it, where those desires come from. And it can be upsetting, it can be emotional, but that emotion can really give you clarity and drive you forward. And for people that generally do that module and go through that exercise, the feedback is quite often that was absolutely life-changing.
It was for me.
Simple exercise. Yeah, me too.
That's why we include it. I mean, ultimately, Matt and I and Petch, cumulatively have spent getting on probably for multiple 6 figures on personal development, business development over the years. We've all been doing it 20 years. Also, Matt, you've been probably getting on for a decade where you've actually, really been involved in it. Last 6-7 years, isn't it, where you've been an actual coach on it, but you've been interested in, the real science of success and personal development for so many years. And we just cherry pick all of the stuff that has really been game changing for us in our lives, and we put it all together in one course, curating it and making it specifically applicable for actors. In the industry, we look at confidence cultivation in module 7 there, which is real, cultivating real confidence, not faking it. Cheesy module, I've labeled module 8 unleashing your inner hero, but that's kind of like the cumulative impact of the entire program. We recorded this program live in front of an audience of 100 actors, so we've got some pre-recorded Q&A sessions there where the people who were seeing us record this live could ask questions, so you'll get instant answers to questions you might have. As I say, we'll have 8 hours of upcoming live calls with this program as well. Matt gives away a podcast that he did with an incredible guy called Dr. Aria to really help people who are facing massive adversity, Matt, as well, because there might be some people here who are going through some real bad shit, and that's what you cover in that podcast with Dr. Aria there. That was really impactful when I heard that.
Yeah, because he's amazing at what he does. Like, I've interviewed over 250 people now on the subject of success and high performance, and out of all of them, that conversation is one of the biggest ones that had a real lasting impression. But part of what he talks about is not just theory; he talks about his personal experience where he had some real adversity and how he utilized what he understood about mindset to really move forward through that, and not just get through it or get over it, but still succeed and achieve throughout those difficult times, which is really commendable. So that's a powerful conversation to listen to in and of itself.
Yeah, no, honestly, I loved it. And there's a workbook that goes along with this as well, folks. A 50-page workbook. Again, it's in depth. This is not just something to listen to. This is real work. It's for people who really want to change their life. It's not for people who are dabbling or people who are just, I'll just give it a go. Like, we want people who are committed. It's why we only let 50 actors into this a year maximum. It doesn't mean that there'll be 50 actors. I think there's roughly 20 places left on this right now. But it just means that we can work with you really, really closely. We want people who are super, super dedicated to the work. So there's a workbook that we will expect you to fill in. We'll expect you to have been through some of these modules when you jump on the live calls with us. Do you want to talk about the accountability group, Matt, the WhatsApp group that we're going to open up tonight? Because that's a game changer for people.
Yeah, when we look at putting a course together, what we do know is you can create the best course in the world. You can give everything somebody needs. You can go into real depth. But actually, statistics show most people who sign up to courses never complete it. So we wanted to go one step further. We really do believe we've created one of the best programs we possibly could, and we think it's super valuable. But to ensure that you actually stay the course and complete it and actually act on what you learn, as you say, we're going to get over 3 months in a WhatsApp group, so that I'm going to be, putting voice notes in there. We're going to expect certain check-ins from you from time to time. You're going to get to hear from fellow actors in the community with you that are also on this journey and going through the same course. And it's that stuff we've found. I do it in all my courses, all my programs, everything I do to help people, whether it be mindset or business stuff. I always do this because I've found that it's this that is the difference that makes the difference. Having that support, hearing from each other, having that accountability, that's the thing that's going to keep you on track. So I believe we're quite unique. Not many courses that I've seen do anything like this. It's just like, you've paid your money, you've got your course, everything's in there, crack on, pal. And we're like, no, like, that's not enough. We need support, we need help. And that inspiration and support of hearing each other on the course can really make a difference. So the WhatsApp group is a big thing, and I love running it. I love hearing from you all and really building a relationship with everyone on this course as well, which is a big thing.
And then build a relationship with each other. And anyone who's already part of this, if you already got a place so far, I know there's lots of people who've already registered for this already. You will be getting a link from me via email tonight to join the WhatsApp group. It won't be open for actually any communication in there until Monday, but we need everybody joining from now. Going to give people a few days to get in there, because obviously once that's set off, that's something that we want people to commit to. And Petch, you'll be in the Facebook group. You're on a Facebook group for 3 months alongside this program as well, which is where people can ask questions, get support. People are already posting their introduction videos in there right now. It's amazing to see people in there already, getting to know each other and telling us what it is that they really want to focus on in this course. Some people really want to get on top of like being productive. They feel that they've took their foot off the pedal, they've lost their mojo. There's some people in there who just really want to be more confident in all areas of their life, not just their acting career. What would you say about the Facebook group page? Obviously, you're in there, well, you're going to be in there like every day for the next 3 months, pretty much.
Yeah, the Facebook group's a really great place. Like, you've got the accountability there with Matt and the check-ins and stuff like that. But the Facebook group is really a place where you can come and ask your questions and get answers. Like you say, I'm in there all day, every day. I know Ross jumps in there, Matt jumps in there as well. It's a place for me to tag people. Like, if I see something first that maybe they have a better knowledge of, or, you know, I can direct people really to the right place. But it's also a place where the community really starts to come together and to really thrive. I always say, like, you know, if you want to go far, you go together. And once people start going through the course and start learning the things, and they feel like they know it to a better level than, say, somebody else, they can start going in and start helping each other. And then you really see this community, like I say, thrive and come together, and everybody's helping each other out. And it becomes much less selfish as people go along as well, because at the start I find that people do want to go in there and have their questions answered, but once they feel like they're at a level where they can help others, that's when you know that you are really understanding the course, because you can then take what you've learned and give that knowledge to other people as well. And that's another form of learning, isn't it, really? It's one is taking in the information, writing it down and trying to remember it, but when you know that you can repeat it to somebody else and you fully understand your answers to other people, that's when I see it really, really come to life, really.
Yep, and we'll be going live in the group as well, in the Facebook group as well. We'll be doing some random Q&As and stuff like that to keep everybody on track. But ultimately, yeah, it really is, honest to God, the most in-depth high-performance mindset coaching program for actors on earth. I have to say the most in-depth, because I don't know if it's the only one, but I think it's the only one. I've never seen a program like this by anybody else, and we've got a load of testimonials as well that you can see on the site on bulletproofactor.com, so you can see the impact that it's made on people, and I'll play a couple of those out in a minute. But if anyone's got any questions about this, if you're here live, obviously you can ask them now. If you're on YouTube or you're on Instagram, put them in the comments. If you are watching on the replay, drop me an email, ross@bulletproofactor.com, if you want. You've only got until midnight Friday this week, Friday the 7th, midnight UK time, to get in on this. And I'll tell you what always happens, just very briefly, if people are getting the questions in now. I see people every year, and I get the emails, and it's frustrating, but there'll be people watching this now, boys, who are like, right, I know I've got more to offer. I am frustrated about where I'm at in my life and my career. I'm not particularly happy in my day job. I'm not particularly happy where I'm at in my acting career. I know I could be doing more. But they bet against themselves, and they are like, look, you know, to change is going to be hard. I'm set in my ways. The odds of me succeeding are stacked against me. I know a program like this could absolutely change my life, but I'm scared, and I'm not going to take the plunge. And I have been there before when it's been about other courses that I've been thinking about taking, and I've hovered over that enroll button, that buy button, whatever it is, and there have been years where I haven't hit it. And as soon as they've closed the cart and it's gone away and you can't join, FOMO kicks in, and I go, God, I regret it so much. Now I can't join until next year. And we might not do this next year, by the way. And then what happens is, what I find with us is the people who are here and they know that they're thinking, I really should get involved in this, but they're just afraid of basically the commitment, they're afraid of what they're perceiving as a risk or whatever, and the cost of this, that, and the other. They don't do it. And then I get an email the next day when the cart is closed going, oh my God, I didn't get to it in time. Can I have a place now? And it's horrible, but the answer is always no, because we set deadlines as real deadlines. If I say, yeah, where's my integrity gone there? Because the next time I set a deadline for you, you'll think, oh, well, I can just ask him 2 days later, a week later, and let us in. We won't, honest to God. I don't care if you go, I'll pay double, I'm not bothered. You know, we want people who are committed to this to do it. So if you are committed and you really want to change your life, change the game, and you are happy to do the work and be part of this community, part of this group, do it before midnight on the 7th in 2 days' time. You've still got a little bit of time, but do it. You know, don't let that opportunity pass you by, because we might not do it again next year. And the question we always ask as well, Matt, is like, ask yourself this: what will it cost you not to do this? In terms of, like, you know, to live another year, if the last year you just lived wasn't the greatest year for you, to repeat that year again, and then again, and then again, like, how much further along in your life could you be if you commit to leveling up in a year's time, as opposed to going, I'll wait. So I just wanted to say that because I just see it every year. But I've been running this sort of stuff and other courses for 15 years now, and every launch I do, you get the people who they know they should do it, they never commit, and then they regret it. And you get those emails the day after, or a couple of days after, going, I didn't see it. And I'm like, I've sent you 5 emails about this deadline. Don't tell me you didn't see one of those 5 things. Like, we can't let you in after the deadline because it's just not, it's not aligned with sort of the whole ethos of the program and what we do. Anything else you would say, Matt Petch? Any questions coming through on any of the platforms? Have we got anybody asking anything?
A question that came through a while ago, and you've literally just answered it. Unfortunately, it's not Bulletproof Actor, although it does. I think you should do Bulletproof Actor, Catherine. Catherine HS72 has said, "Hi guys, I'm considering doing a masterclass with Lisa Johnson to get a digital business, hoping it will give me the freedom, time, and financial." I'm guessing stability there. Can't get over the hump of pushing the button. Any help? I think you just...
Matt works with Lisa, actually. Is Lisa someone you work with, Matt? She's good, isn't she?
She's mentored me, and I'm actually doing that exact program. I know it's £2,000, and I paid for it this week, 2 days ago. I'm actually an affiliate for the program, so if you want to get it through me, I make a bit of money and you get some bonuses. So if it is something, if it is something you want to do, because I massively back Lisa, I advocate her. I've known of her for years, and she's a really, really good business strategist. I think you just nailed it with any of this kind of stuff. You have to consider what is the cost, right? If you're investing your money, you're going to get a return. What is the cost of not getting that return? What is that going to do, as Ross was saying, months from now, if you're still in the same pattern? How's that going to affect your mental health? How's that going to affect your self-esteem, your self-worth, your confidence? How's it going to affect your career? How's it going to affect your relationships? How's it going to affect your bank balance? Like this ripple effect of not investing in something that can help you. You might think, that course with Lisa is a couple of £1,000. This course that we're talking about is a few £100. And for some of you might be like, that's a lot of money. Well, that's the investment. But what is the cost of not investing? That's the thing you've really got to be clear on. And this is not just some weird sales psychology. It's a very real thing that happens when you don't get help and when you just muddle through and try and do stuff on your own. So that's the main thing I would say. Whether you want to work with Lisa, make sure you get the link through me so that you get the extra benefits. By the way,
Catherine said she is going to message you.
Just really transparent about it. What you'll get the bonuses is I charge £150 an hour for a business strategy call or a mindset clarity call. And that's my rates. It's the same for everybody. But if you buy that course through Lisa, you'll get 2 of those. So basically £300 worth of one-to-one sessions if you buy it through by link. So that's not a sales pitch. I'm just letting you know, since you've brought that up, that you can do that if you want to. But look, this is a much, much more affordable course for those people who are I haven't got a few £1,000s. But we do go into depth on that subject of starting your own business. And we do these live Zoom calls where you can ask us questions about the modules. And if one of it for you is you wanting to start your own business, we're here to help you as 3 people who have run successfully our own businesses and are running our businesses as well. So I just think that's the best thing to think about if you're on the fence, is really get clear of the cost of not getting support and not getting help. And ultimately, the cost of not investing in you and investing into your mindset. Really get clear on that and then make an informed decision.
Yeah, and just across the board, what you're investing in all areas of your life. I mean, obviously this will help you in all areas of your life, but just in terms of what are you putting in to everything, whether that's, I don't know, God, I mean, people investing in, they're like, I'm getting really terrible quality sleep. How much have you put into your mattress? Just sort of across the board. I'm not talking about courses like this. To level up in any area, you've got to put something in. I remember when I was the same. I was hovering over the button on a business course, teaching you how to launch stuff like this, and I didn't get in that first year, and I regretted it instantly. You see the ticker that's counting down here. You've got 2 days, 6 hours left. I watched it count down to 0. And it's not there just to look pretty. That's legit. When that hits 0, this has gone away. Don't email me afterwards, right? And I let this go down to 0 when I wanted to do a program. And I had to wait an entire year. And when I did that course the year later, when I implemented it, and you've got to implement the strategies in it, it cost me $2,000, but what I implemented from that program earned me $16,000. So the cost of that course the year before wasn't $2,000. That was what it was going to cost me. The cost of not doing it was actually $14,000, because that's the profit that I lost by not doing it that year before. And it's the same, what could you achieve in your acting career this year if you really got your head around your mindset and you did a program like this? It's a 500 quid course, but 14 words on Hollyoaks. If you sort your head out and you get your head in the game and you start putting the work in, and you understand like what you need from your career, and you actually get the motivation to go out and do it because you're in charge of your emotions and your mindset. 14 words on Hollyoaks will pay you £1,000. Like I just did a voiceover job. You saw the invoice that I put in the other day, Petch. Through dedicating myself to voiceover and doing the work, I got to invoice my voiceover agent the other day for 17 grand for a usage extension. I hadn't actually had to do any more work for it. I did an advert last year for a biscuit company. They just renewed the usage on it because I dedicated myself to voiceover to really go in on it because my mindset was in the right place. I just got to send a piece of paper for 17,000 quid. Had I gone, oh, you know what? No, I'm not really. I don't think I'll ever really be successful in voiceover. I might as well not bother. My mindset's all broken. I wouldn't have been able to do that. Like, it's such a tiny investment in the grand scheme of things if you are looking to actually have a happier, healthier, wealthier life moving forward. And it might not be the right time for people. I'm not going to pressure people into doing it. But if it is resonating with you, you're on the fence, and you're like, I know I could do this. It's within my means and I have the resources to do it. I would implore you to do it because it really will change the game for you. Bulletproofactor.com. If you want to check it out, you can read all about it. But yeah, you've got until midnight on Friday, the 7th, so 2 days from now and 6 hours to get involved. And we got some videos, boys, of people who've been through the program to play out. I can play out a video from Rachel Shenton, who won an Oscar after taking this program, sorted a mindset out. We've got a mashup of other people, who have gone on to do, change their worlds in terms of, obviously, not everyone's going to win an Oscar, but what you need to do to change your world rather than the world, might not be as big as winning an Oscar. So what do you reckon? Should I play one of those out? Any closing comments? I'll bring us all back on the screen.
Hopefully it's been helpful, really. Whether you sign up or not, we try and give as much, guidance and share as much as we can on these kind of things. But if you are really serious, I think just remember that results come from action, not from listening, not from talking, not from reading. They come from doing something. And this course is very much based about, empowering you, equipping you, and holding you accountable to take action in alignment with your personal goals. So whether you actually sign up and work with us or not, please make it a commitment that, if you've spent some time with us this evening, that you make this time worthwhile by doing something as a result of listening to what we've said today. So if it's starting to get your ideas of your business or setting that business up, whatever that is, please commit to doing something. We'd love you to join the program. It's one, like Ross said, we do it once a year. We've got so many amazing transformations and success stories from the past couple of intakes that we've worked with. The live calls in particular, we're on there for usually 2 hours and just Q&A, and we also give additional content, that's not covered in the 8 modules. There's so much we give to you when you work with us, and we really pride ourselves on over-delivering. So it'd be a pleasure to work with you. We'd love to have you there if it's right. But whatever you do next, please make this time together useful and take action. Do something different as a result of watching this video.
Yeah, if you've got ideas, we've sprung ideas in your head around side hustles that you could start the ball rolling on to just get you out of this day job that's draining your life. Please go and do something on one of those things tonight. Go for a walk now. Start thinking about, what it is you love, what it is you're good at, what people would pay, you to teach them, or something, a solution that you could bring into the world for someone's problems. You're going to live a way, way happier life than working for the man and just basically doing what everybody else does. You'll end up with having what everybody else has. You've got to do something different this year to experience life a little bit differently. Petch, you went through this program with me in 2014 before it's the version 2 of the program now. Anything you say to finish, and we'll play a testimonial out?
The only thing I'd say, really, and it sounds cheesy as hell, is it changes your life. It really does change your life. I was not in a really good place at all when I initially took the course, and my life has changed drastically ever since. And it's the same with anything that we teach at Act On This, and I'm sure that Matt teaches on his coaching and stuff like that. You can have all the knowledge in the world, we can give you all this information, but if you don't go away and act on it, nothing's ever going to change. So you've got to go all in. It's all right just buying the course, but if you're not going to actually sit down and do the work, and the work is hard, but anything that's worth having is going to be hard, isn't it? So yeah, really sit down, have a good think of yourself. If you want to live the same life that you have done time and time and time again, carry on. But if you really want to make that change, because we really can make the rest of your life the best of your life. We say that all the time, and it starts here.
Nice. Make that change. Sounds like Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. Make that change. Love that song. Absolutely one of my all-time favourite songs. Right, what should we treat people to? We've got a testimony from Rachel, or we've got the mashup. What you guys choose? What do you reckon we should play out?
I think we did Rachel last time, didn't we? I'd say do the other one.
Yeah, what do you reckon, Matt?
Yep, let's do it.
Right, we're going to leave you with this, folks. So this is just a mashup of some past students who've done Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success, version 2.0, available till midnight on Friday. These are people who have been through it from our community. They're real people. These are real experiences. We've not paid these people to say this. You can look them up. I've tagged them on social media when I put this out. And they've gone on. The great thing is people, we got them to do this testimonial shortly after taking the program. They've gone on to be even bigger and better now. So yeah, this is something that if you rinse and repeat and you really, do every single day, it's a bit like showering. You've got to shower every day to continue to smell nice. If you continue working on your mindset every day, you'll continue to level up. So you're smelling yourself there, boys. So yeah, people who have done this and they've got the strategies have gone on to level up time and time again. So yeah, I'll play this out now. I'll take what should I take? That I might have to take that graphic off the bottom, but we are gonna have the web address on as well. Petch, there you are. Brought you on. Taking it off your face, mate.
Face. I didn't know you were here, actually.
There's a voice on the bottom.
Put it back on, it's better.
I'll take us off screen. I'll play this and we'll finish up, everybody. But yeah, bulletproofactor.com. If you want to go get that £1,000 worth of bonuses, work with us every day for the next 3 months to make the rest of your life the best of your life. We'd love to have you on there. Any questions, ross@bulletproofactor.com. And you've got until midnight on Friday. So I'll take us off in a second, boys. But until then, we'll say the catchphrase. Love to everybody. Speak to you again soon. 3, 2, 1.
Bye
for now. Nice. It was kind of in sync-ish. Right. I'm going to take us off. Petch, bye for now. Matt, I'm going to take you off next. Bye for now. I'm going to take me off next. Bye for now. I'm going to play this out. Take care, folks. We'd love to have you.
Before I did Bulletproof Actor, my mindset was not in a good place in relation to my self-belief as an actor. I felt like a complete imposter even calling myself an actor. I just felt like I wasn't good enough to be successful and that I was basically too old.
So I just thought, what's the point? I've got no effort, no passion, no energy. It just didn't seem like there was anything I could do, and I was just resigned to this kind of world I've put myself in.
I've been operating from a place of fear and comparison and anger.
I had a lot of, confidence issues surrounding my acting, limiting beliefs, which I don't think I realised just the extent of how many limiting beliefs I actually had.
I was stuck in the mud and I felt like I wasn't moving.
I probably felt I wasn't good enough and not ready.
I felt very down, and it was just literally a domino effect, and it wasn't a great place to be.
My mindset has got so much better. I literally just think, just go for it. Don't even give yourself that time to self-doubt, to talk yourself out of it, to talk yourself down. Just literally, if you've got an idea, put pen to paper. If you want to contact someone, network, just do it.
I'm currently prepping for my second TV job, which is my biggest job, I'd like to say, yet, because it's bigger. It's from a show I've loved watching and growing up, and I've always wanted to be on the show. And I think without Bulletproof Actor, I wouldn't have had the strength and the knowledge and the confidence and the energy and eagerness to push myself to these directors and casting directors and get myself out there more and have the confidence to go, this is what I want, and ask for it.
I've got the confidence. I feel unstoppable. I left my 60+ hour week job to create my own business.
I just think, if not me, then who?
I grabbed it with my both hands. I completed Bulletproof Actor weekend, and it was the best thing that could have happened.
My biggest light bulb moment in the program was about shifting my focus from the outcomes, which are totally not within my control, to the outputs, which I can control.
So one of my biggest takeaways was to look at limiting self-beliefs.
And I was listing all my limiting beliefs, and I didn't have any evidence to back them up. And I was going through all my positive beliefs, and I had loads of evidence to back them up. And that was a switch for me going, I'm putting myself down all the time.
When a situation happens to you, it's like how you choose to respond, you know, and it's fine and you're valid to have those feelings, but you just go through these questions and really get clarity on the situation. And again, that extends to all avenues in your life, relationships, friendships, work, other jobs. It's really good.
If someone asks me, Jen, what do you do? I'm an actor. I have the confidence. I believe it. I know it. And I'm not afraid to say it anymore.
I knew that Ross and Matt Hall were very experienced in terms of high performance mindset. So I thought, you know what, it's a no-brainer. Let me just sign up, because I'm sure that I'm going to get a lot out of this course, and it really did not disappoint in any way.
I believed in what Ross was doing and what he said. His passion sparked my passion, and I wanted to do it because he's helped me before, and he's definitely helped me again.
I thought, you know what, this is the perfect time to do it, and it was near enough going into the new year at the time, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to start the new year strong, I'm going to finish it strong.
The kind of reason that I did it was because of knowing and liking the three people that were running the course, and yeah, it proved to be very successful.
The thing I liked most about the program was how in depth we went and how scientific it was. And one thing that stood out to me in particular was the 7 levels deep, which got you to really focus on why you want what you want and why you're doing what you're doing.
The experience of listening to a member of the course go through that process, it was demonstrated in a session live, and it had such a massive impact on me. I will never ever forget it.
It wasn't just let's think positive and then positivity is going to happen. It was, let's look at the science about why we do this and what will happen because of that, and that's what I really enjoyed about the course.
The thing I love most about the program was a success cycle. Anytime I feel overwhelmed, even today, I go back to the success cycle and I look at each section and see where I'm lacking.
The workbook was great because it meant we could do the workbook at the time, but also go back to it.
On top of it, changing my entire career for the better, and the way I think about my career, it's huge. But I think having the community was top notch.
You might be thinking, oh, it's a lot of money, or I don't know, but really and truly, you're investing in yourself, in your career, in your mindset.
It's about your life. Like, I'm so much happier out of the acting industry as much as I am in it at the minute. It's great. So ask yourself, do I want to be happier? If the answer is yes, what are you waiting for?
As I mentioned before, they use science-based techniques. You can't argue with science.
Definitely do it. It's so worth it. You will not regret it.
It got me my career back. And it helped me so much personally as well that there's no need to be on the fence.